I'm still relatively young, 22 years old, but I still remember the mid-2000s and how the cool thing politically was to laugh at the Christian fundamentalists that were warning of a moral slippery slope. If we allow for the normalization of homosexuality, they argued, next would come gay marriage, and then we'd get bestiality, and then things much worse than that. If you can love another man, why can't you love a dog, etc. Of course, in 2008, as a big-brained 13-year-old, I still remember laughing at this and gleefully referring people I argued with to the slippery slope fallacy. As the argument goes, just because one thing becomes normalized doesn't mean these other things will become normalized too. Things don't necessarily follow the other. I wish I'd known just how wrong I was. Fast forward now to the current year, 2018. Gay marriage has been codified by the Supreme Court. Every major TV network showcases gay characters, and just about every major corporation changes their logo every June to showcase the so-called Pride Month. Public schools now have transgender sex ed teachers teaching your young kids. The media is pushing the transgenderism narrative whenever they can, and Canadian kids are now at risk of being taken from their parents if their parents refuse to indulge their mental illness. It looks like that slippery slope was a bit more slippery than we thought. But this isn't even the worst of it. Back in my libertarian days, I was a firm believer in the NAP, or non-aggression principle. The NAP dictates that people should be allowed to do whatever they want, as long as that action does not aggress upon another person's liberties. This is the logic that was used on conservatives when it came to gay issues and the sexual revolution. These are just consenting adults doing what they want with each other, the left said, and conservatives fell for it. This is a free country after all, isn't it? Why can't consenting adults do what they want with each other? Well, here's why. Because it was really never all about consenting adults, and the left certainly isn't stopping there either. The sexual revolution that began with women was extended to gays and then transgenders is now being extended to children as well. This isn't some Pizzagate-level conspiracy theory. This isn't some weird game of connect the John Podesta and Hillary Clinton dots on a corkboard. No, this is happening right in front of your eyes. The left is normalizing and endorsing the sexualization of children with the hope that sometime soon, pedophilia will be able to join the ranks of socially accepted orientations. To demonstrate just how far we are into clown world, the video I'm going to show you today wasn't obtained from some dark web file transfer or some child predator's hard drive. It was posted on Facebook by the Huffington Post with a glowing positive caption. The star of the video is an unfortunate child we have talked about before, a kid named Desmond, who is being used by his parents and our hostile media to promote incredibly sick antisocial behaviors. I'll explain more as we go along. Let's watch.
I was born in Pride Month in the year 2007. Gay pride means self-expression to me. Hi, I'm Desmond is Amazing. I'm 10 years old and I'm a drag kid and I live in New York City and I am an LGBTQ activist and advocate.
When I was 10 years old, I was concerned with the Cub Scout Pine Car Derby and setting new lap times in Gran Turismo 3. I certainly wasn't thinking at all about sex or sexuality, and certainly not about gay pride. That's because, of course, children are too young to be concerned with things like this. Children should not be exposed to difficult sexual questions and concepts before they're ready. In this case, before they're even biologically capable of dealing with them. What reason is there to expose young children to these sexual concepts, if not to prepare them for sexuality earlier than they're supposed to be? It's obvious that this kid is being fed his lines by some handlers, possibly his parents or media executives, and he doesn't fully grasp what it is he's talking about. I hope. Let's keep watching.
I discovered that I wanted to drag when I watched the first episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. When I was 2, then I moved on to little dresses. Then I moved on to making outfits.
Alright, let's start with the fact that this kid's parents were letting him watch a show about drag races when he was 2 years old. 2-year-olds are still developing their understanding of the world, and the adult themes present on a show all about men dressing in drag are clearly inappropriate for children of that age. Also, the fact that he was watching these programs indicates to me that no, this was not a natural thing this kid went and did. He didn't do it on his own volition. His parents are pushing him into this and enabling this behavior. Young boys may find themselves putting on girls' shoes or playing with a doll or something like that. That doesn't mean it's time for the parents to take him in for gender reassignment surgery and turn him into a little girl. It's the parents' job to correct this behavior and remind the young boy that girls' clothes are for girls and set him back on the right course. Leftists have this strange view that children in their youth are these beautiful and all-knowing people, wise beyond their years. Of course, this isn't at all true. Children have limited world experiences, and children are supposed to be parented by adults that are older and smarter and wiser than they are, and can guide them in the right direction. The parents are in charge of the child, and not the other way around, and that rule definitely applies in situations like this. Desmond probably wouldn't have the ability to make his weird little costumes or put on his weird little makeup if it weren't for a set of parents, or in this case, I'm betting a single mom, enabling that behavior. He's still a young kid, he's 10 years old, and he shouldn't be used like this by irresponsible adults that know they're permanently psychologically damaging him, but are okay doing it because it gives them the media attention that they want and helps them undermine civilized, normal society.
I've got my inspirations from designers like Alexander McQueen, Betsy Johnson, Comme des Garçons, Jean-Paul Gaultier, the club kids, their fashion and the makeup, not the bad things, the Blitz kids of London.
Yeah, just so we're clear, the bad stuff he's talking about was the fact that this group he looks up to, the club kids, was a group of cross-dressing drug addicts and freaks that all had sex with each other and did drugs with each other until their group disbanded after the leader murdered a drug dealer. Yeah, totally the kinds of role models you want your 10-year-old child to have.
And if you wanted to drag, just start off with a little wig and some lip gloss and a little t-shirt and a little skirt and some heels or sneakers, whatever. You can be a drag queen no matter what.
And if you're an adult and you want to do that out of sight of children in your own weird little club, that's fine, I guess. But that's not what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a child that is being groomed into becoming a sex symbol when he's only 10 years old. And this video, posted by Huffington Post, is encouraging and teaching other kids to go out and do the same thing too. Children can be impressionable, we know this, and there are millions of young kids out there with Facebook accounts that are going to see this and possibly try to emulate it as well. Gender dysphoria used to be classified as a mental illness, and boys trying to dress up like sexy little girls is absolutely something that society should reject. We're not dumb, and we know what kind of attention this attracts from sick perverts and abusers out there. Any parent allowing their child to dress like this and attract that sort of attention is absolutely irresponsible and should be held criminally liable if anything, God forbid, does happen to their child.
I've always been able to be myself because of my supporting mom and dad. Say hi, Mom. Hi. That's my mom, and I love her to death. Drag is a form of expression and being yourself and dressing however you want and looking fierce no matter what you're wearing. Even if your eyeliner went down and it's so bad, you still look fierce. My motto is be yourself always, but I like to add this on. No matter what anyone says, and paid haters don't mind because they're not as fierce as you.
Except you're not being yourself. You're dressing up in a costume to be something that you're not. Desmond, the 10-year-old boy, does not have blue lips and yellow hair. He's a 10-year-old child that should be reading books, doing sports, and spending time with friends his age, not weird adult friends trying to do God knows what with him. Dressing in drag is a form of escape from what you really are. In reality, you're a boy. You're not a girl. You're not fierce, and you're not a queen. You're a boy about to become a young man, and eventually, assuming the dangerous drag lifestyle of drugs and promiscuity doesn't catch up with him, he'll become a man. Is this a point in his life that he'll be proud to look back on when he's 25 or 35, 45? I generally object to parents using their children in the media because the children don't have the agency or ability to think about and understand whatever it is they're saying. That is absolutely true here, too. Desmond is not a civil rights icon or the future of the LGBT community. I hope, anyways. He's a child being abused by irresponsible, selfish parents. But more than that, he's a representation of the next step of the LGBT community, or as I prefer to describe it, the LGBTP community. The left has broken down barriers around homosexuality, transgenderism, bisexuality, and the next step, I'm fully convinced, according to their own writing, is pedophilia. They want to make it normal to see children in a sexual light. And what better way to start that process off than by presenting the sexualization of kids as just some fun dress-up hobby that doesn't hurt anybody? It's victimless, right? No. The victim is the child, who is too young to understand what is going on. This is not beautiful, this is not brave, and this is not courageous. This is the next frontier for the modern left. We can read their own words where they tell us explicitly that they want to normalize pedophilia. How much more proof do you need? I hope Desmond can get some help, and that other children like him don't have to suffer too much at the hands of their mentally unhinged parents. But until we make things like this illegal, I'm afraid that our hostile media is just going to keep encouraging behavior like this.